In today's video, guys, we're gonna go over my Continental bosses, challenges, teams. I'm gonna share with you guys the best strategies you can use for week 1. Now, this event is coming to an end. At least the very first week of the event is coming to an end. Apologies. So I'm gonna do my runs today to get it out of the way because I won't be able to get many upgrades tomorrow, right? I've already done everything in the game today, and more or less, I won't really be able to get anything that's going to significantly increase the damage or anything like that. So, I'm going to share with you what bosses I'm attacking, the teams, the builds, the skill timing, everything that you need to know to basically get as much damage as possible. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I am doing daily guides on Dragonheir, Silent Gods news, tips and tricks, everything else related to the game. This is going to be on my main account, on my whale account. So hello, fellow whales. Welcome to another video. I will be doing the same from the free-to-play. I already released a couple of videos from there as well. So feel free to check them out if you're interested to see how to up the damage on a free-to-play account. But right here, we're talking about big boy damage. Truth be told, I've tried this team multiple times. I have very bad RNG with it today, and I'm going to save this run right here because even though I know I can get over 280 million damage because I've done it before, but I did not save the key because I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a video on it. So I'm going to do it when I'm doing the video. But I ran out of patience, okay? So I've got 277 before. I haven't saved that one either. I'm going to go with 276. 4 or 5 million won't really be making the biggest difference whatsoever. So we're going to save this run. We're going to go over the build, skill timing, and the MVP in this team. It might seem like it's Flora with all that damage, but in fact, it's actually Brody, okay? So, why did I decide to attack Vinara as one of the very first bosses? Well, it's very simple, guys. The main reason why I decided to do it is because I have Flora. If you went for Flora, it's an absolute no-brainer. Attack this boss with your Flora team. I've tried the Flora team across all of the other bosses. They get the highest damage right here. Now, it's very important to keep in mind one of the following things. This boss, which I might not be able to actually check, I can check all the information. This boss will only attack one target. She won't be doing a lot of damage or anything like that. The main thing that she will do is basically bring in a lot of damage reduction on herself, a defense up, and a shield, okay? So that's where Brody comes in play. Brody, the epic character that you've seen, can remove the shields, and he can basically gain shield with the passive every time the boss is gaining shield, which means that you're going to be able to keep the champion alive without any healing whatsoever, just with the shield. Now, if we're going to talk about the build, skill timing, and everything else, because there isn't much else that I can tell you about this boss. It's going to take 50% more skill damage from single target hits. So that's very, very important. So in order to load that team, I'm going to have to go to a different boss, go to the actual preset, and I'm going to show you basically everything that you need to know related to that team. Is honestly a no-brainer. Vinara is the very first boss or the second boss you want to attack in the first week, okay? And this is very important because the better score you get, the higher you're going to end up in the leaderboard during this event, and then the rewards you're going to get from this event will push you in a better position on the main seasonal leaderboard. It's kind of like a chained reaction, right? So, Vinara boss, here we are. I am literally running my Temporal Vortex team, except instead of using Adolphus, or instead of using, for example, Ogok, I am running Brody, this character right here. So Brody has this passive that will give him shield. He has this that puts attack penalty, which is completely irrelevant. It might help him to stay alive, but that's about it. And then we have this. He's gonna gain the defense up, and he will remove the shield from enemies. Now, I made such a skill timing that as soon as the boss, literally the very first instance that the boss is putting the shield, Brody will instantly remove it. So we're not actually missing any damage whatsoever to go into the actual shield, okay? Talent-wise, you're going to want to go on the top 3 Actually, it might not be the top 3. It's actually the middle 3 on him. Extends the duration of buffs granted by the hero by 2 seconds. So I extend the duration of defense up to make sure the boss won't actually hit me with a third skill when I do not have the defense up. Artifact, we do have an Aurelian Vest. I do think this is pretty important to keep him alive, but you can definitely do it without it, because that's what I was using before. This just made my life easier and reduced the RNG. The whole idea is that you do need to have around 300 resistance, and that's if you have your Psychic Core fully maxed. The thing is, the more resistance you have, the less the chance for the boss to debuff you and mess up your rotation. Very important to don't get your ultimate energy dropped by the boss, because he will desync from the skill timing, okay? In terms of sets, I really do not have anything too crazy on him. I have one of these pieces to get a bit of healing if needed, and then it's literally just random stuff, okay? Whatever gave me the stats, the resistance, the accuracy, that's what I have been looking for. That's my Flora right here. Basically, pretty good attack, high enlightenment. That's basically what you want to prioritize on her. I do have the exclusive artifact, and she is built with mythical pieces. Now, the talent tree is, of course, the one for the exclusive. If I remember it correctly, that is the bottom 3 for her, right? I might be wrong. Yeah, I think it's the bottom 3 for her. So, these are the total stats right here. The gloves, the chest, they're not perfect for her, because, hey, I would love to have better substats and all that stuff. But you know what? I do not give a damn. I'm not going to forge a piece for Flora. Instead, I'm going to go for crit damage gloves, because these pieces are good enough. I need something that I don't have at a similar level. And those are crit damage gloves from the Carnage set. But moving on to the next one. We have Caspar. Now, on my Caspar, I have the Flame Tongue. I do not have the other artifact on him, and not because I don't want to equip it, I just won't be able to get enough crit rate because my gloves kinda suck, okay? I am running a Gambler set on him instead of running mythical pieces, and the thing is, it does deal a bit of more damage like this. At least with the build that I can give him with the mythical pieces. For some of you, it might not be the case, but for me, the Gambler set on him deals more damage than giving him a full build on mythical pieces, because I don't have very, very good pieces all around. Now, he has the talent tree. I think this might be the top talent tree, if I remember it correctly, where he just randomly has a chance to basically trigger another hit from his skill. Just look for this Twisted Fate talent, and that's the tree basically that is on him. I can't remember if he's the top or not. Then, moving on to Erich, he is going to be on a Puppeteer set. Pretty good stats, more attack on him would definitely be nice, more crit rate and all that stuff, but we're gonna have to make it work with what we have. And talent-wise, I think this is the bottom 3 for him, if I remember it correctly. Actually, I shouldn't even be having this on him. I've got the wrong talent on him. I've just realized that right now. I'm not sure why. When I changed it, maybe I was testing something and I've completely forgot to change that on him. But on Erich, you do not want to get that talent. And I'm going to explain you now why. Because if you have that talent on him, it's a bit of a waste. He already has a crazy, crazy high attack, okay? And because he already has a crazy high attack, you don't want to waste your chance of getting the big boom whenever his skill procs. So I've just noticed that. I definitely need to change it. Seems like I cannot do it from this screen, but I do not want to keep this talent on him. And I'm going to do it right now, even though I'm going to have to back out of the fight, because I did not realize that I have that on. I completely freaking forgot that I changed it to play around. Yeah, so this is the middle tree that I have on Caspar. And on Erich, you want to get this tree right here. This probably would have pushed more damage. Maybe that's why I couldn't get to 280 plus million damage, because I've messed up this without even freaking realizing. So damn annoying. But either way, that's my Caspar right here on a Puppeteer set. And the final character is going to be Felicity. She is built on a Brotherhood set. And basically, in terms of talents, we have the bottom 3 on her as well. Okay, you could definitely try the middle talents on her too. I'm constantly swapping them around to see what works best, what gives me higher damage output, but it's so annoying because there's so much freaking RNG with this team that is literally crazy in terms of like testing to see what's the best damage output, right? But that is my very first team, okay? If we're gonna move on to the second team, guys, I am actually running something completely different. And of course it's gonna be different because Skratch, you moron, you cannot use the same team twice. But you might be tempted to use your summoners versus Talendor. If you have Lelwanis, do not do it. If you have Premca, most likely do not do it. Now, if you do not have Lelwanis or Premca, attack Talendor with your summoners. That's what I'm going to do on my free-to-play account for a video, but I won't be using that because I'm going to use the Dauntless team versus Talendor. But on my main account, based on all of the testing that I've done, the second best team for the very first week for me is going to be on Vasska and is going to be Summoners, okay? Those are going to be the characters that will give me the best value overall in terms of damage. Now, I have a huge mess right here on my account with all of these freaking teams that I've tested. So hopefully this is the one and is not this one, because I might have... Actually, no, that's not the one. That's not the one. Because this is going to be the one where we are using Zarlot. Now, this team, it went on auto, did, I think in the video, 243, 245 million damage. And was very good RNG. Since then, I've upgraded my core and all that stuff. And I'm not able to get that damage unless I'm manual. So I'm going to do a quick run on auto. See if we get good RNG. Hopefully. If not, we're going to go on manual. Basically, I have a gambler set on my Lelwanis. Absolutely insane. Works really, really, really well for her. These are the total stats. More crit damage would be nice. Somewhere like 50 more crit damage would be absolutely amazing. I do not have her exclusive artifact. And talent 3, the bottom 3. I've tested both of them in a lot of content. The bottom 3 is what gives you more damage, okay? Then, moving on to the next one, I'm going to use Felocia as a second support in here to make sure my team will stay alive. This boss actually hits pretty hard. But with Felocia's damage reduction and the shield, we're going to be spot on. Now, she is on Brotherhood set. This will boost the damage for your team even more, okay? Because they're kind of like going to desync anyway with the other characters, and you do need to have 2 of them on this set to have more damage. So we're running Centralia in here. Basically, she's going to have a Brotherhood set too, with the downpipe organ as the main artifact to give me more attack on my entire team. So basically, the main thing that I prioritized on her is as much attack as possible. I do not have full talents on her just yet. I doubted that they will make a huge difference because nothing seems to really boost her damage by a lot anyway. And unless it's something that I misunderstood in the talents, they affect her rather than the rest of the teammates, right? Then we have Urzilas with the Puppeteer set and the Whisper of the Consumer artifact. Now, I've tried quite a few different artifacts on him. This one works the best in terms of damage output. I try to give him a bit of a damage build as well. I do not like to put the Witch's Remains on him because he's not covering enough with this skill, and is only 1 hit. I mean, he's covering enough with the skill, but he's only 1 hit, and it's very easy to miss on applying defense down with him. That's why I have Zarlot. Together with Felocia, he will keep my team alive. Witch's Remains, I have a Rhapsody's Calling set, and basically I have one of these pieces to see if we can reduce a bit of damage from all of the enemies when they are hitting us, especially on the boss. But it's not something that you necessarily need. If you can get something else to boost the damage, go for it, right? Now, skill timing, I have the following skill timings on the characters. 18-second cycle. Now, one thing that I'll be doing, just to test it right now, so she has this at 12.8, right? He's gonna go at 14. She's gonna go at 15. I'm gonna give her an 18 seconds cooldown. Instead of letting her run wild, I'm gonna see if this will actually work better. And I've just realized that I did not show you the skill timing for the fire team, for the wild team, but I will crop the video and put it at the front for you guys. So you're probably going to ignore this message because you're going to see it there. We're going to do a run on auto and we're going to see if everything works spot on. If not, we're going to have to probably go and do it on manual. The main issue that you are going to encounter with this team on auto, guys, is the fact that Zarlot is going to apply the defense down, as you guys can probably notice, on all of these little minions around here rather than on the boss. Now, it shouldn't necessarily be the biggest issue because we do have huge AoE damage, but overall, it will reduce the damage from the other characters. Sometimes Zarlot does it, sometimes it doesn't, you know? And sometimes it's not going to apply the recharge speed penalty on the boss either because of all of those little enemies in there, but we should still be fine, more or less. Now, this team does take a bit of time to basically get up and running. I'm very curious to see if I'm going to lose damage just because I've put a cooldown on Centralia. Is that something that's going to affect my damage overall, or is still going to work just fine? Very, very curious, actually, because I've tried her with no cooldown. I haven't tried her with cooldown. But I'm very curious to see if we manage to get to around 240 million damage. That's basically the damage that this team deals, more or less. Now, one thing that I've noticed that my Velocia actually desynced for whatever reason. Or maybe everything just moves so fast and she's actually spot on rather than desyncing, you know. But let's see. Okay, 220. We have 1.3 minutes left. We should be able to get there. I mean, we've done basically 20 million more in like 1 minute and a bit. So I think having her on a cooldown, it could potentially be better than no cooldown. We should get 2 more ultimate skills in here. Okay, Velocia, do not let me down right now, baby. Like, do not let me down right now. Gonna have to make sure I'm putting her on to don't this. We lost Centralia right here. Hopefully we get another ultimate. Beautiful. Most likely we're not gonna get another ultimate, but still, we managed to get a pretty good score, okay? Even if I would retry it to keep Centralia alive, more or less would be around here the damage because she died straight at the end. But this is clearly showing me that with her not having default on the recast is better, because with the default on the recast, what was happening, the average was around 232, 236 million. So I will save this. I don't even have to manual. Probably if I would do a manual, I would get around 4 million more, just because I will apply that defense down a bit better on the boss. But you know what? I'm freaking happy with this. I think overall it was a pretty good result. Heck, we are #1 on the server, guys. So that is actually good. My main goal is anyway to reach top 20. We're gonna see how that plays, because there's still a lot of people that did not use their runs for the moment, and I know there are much crazier Flora teams available on my server, and they haven't done their runs yet, so not sure what they're waiting for. But if we're having a quick look at the leaderboard, I feel like most of the people probably ran the same 2 teams. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so he went with Berengar. Good damage as well. Does he have the exclusive? He has the exclusive, and I've dealt more damage than him with the exclusive. So that should tell you something, guys, right? You should listen to the advice every now and then. But basically, that's pretty good. Now, his team actually use Chrysos. +5 Erich, +5 Caspar. And he dealt barely 6 million damage more than me. If we're looking right here, once again, a Flora team. And right here... Oh, I was so curious about this, but I did not try it. I was so curious if I'm going to get more damage with a Premsa over Ursulas in the team. And I did not try it. I kind of regret it now because I was so freaking curious. But this is good damage as well. So, as you guys can probably notice, everybody is running more or less the same teams except this guy, who decided to go Poison versus Tamar. And no exclusive artifact. This is something that probably I'll be doing on the second week. I think based on rally performance, I think I'll be running Poison on the second week, so next week, yeah. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. As I've mentioned, these are the best two bosses to attack on week 1. They are the weakest. They give you the best damage output. Now, of course, if you do not have Lelwanis and you have, of course, Lotair, go and do Tamar, because you're going to get a better damage output than without Lelwanis. But that is all for this one. Hopefully you found it helpful. And in terms of talents and everything else, pretty damn important to make sure that you guys are using those things to make sure you're getting the most out of it. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.